Good morning. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Allison Barber, and I have the fine privilege of serving as the principal of this great school. And I also have the wonderful honor of being able to welcome you, to be the first voice that welcomes you today on behalf of our superintendent, one of the finest superintendents across this world, Mr. Richard Rotary, as well as our Board of Education for Rockdale County Public Schools, and all of the educators who I get to work with every day, from elementary, middle, and high school. We honor you. I promised my faculty and staff I wouldn't talk too long because they are used to me doing that, but I couldn't help but just to take a moment to pause to say that when I think about you families, you are your children's first teacher. Before they ever walked into a school at Rockdale County Public Schools or any school in which they may have had their genesis, I do want to let you know and remind you that you were their first teacher. And we thank you, because without you today, without you, we could not be able to sit with the students who are going to be with us today and hear from them. As I was preparing to come here this morning, I was watching the news, and it wanted to get into my mind that our youth today are challenging. The news does a good job in trying to convince us of that. But I stand before you today very excited, optimistic, because before us are just a few examples of the ambassadors of awesomeness in our youth. So we do thank them as well for continuing to be great examples of what we know our future is going to be. It is not necessarily put on the news how great programs like this are, but this is a wonderful opportunity. I want to also acknowledge our clerk of courts, Ms. Ruth Wilson. Her vision for this oratorical has helped us to really inspire and influence such a wonderful opportunity for our students. So thank you for that, Ms. Wilson. Again, thank you, boys and girls, and on behalf of Rockdale County Public Schools, we welcome you to our 3rd annual oratorical competition. I know you are going to enjoy it. Boys and girls, I want to encourage you to just continue to operate in your excellence, in your boldness, in your bravery. It takes a lot to come and stand before people and share your thoughts, but you are, again, very well prepared for such a time as this. So we honor you, we praise you, and we welcome you. Thank you. We'll now have the pledge by Paola Perez, and following Paola will be our clerk of courts, our very wonderful visionary clerk of courts, Ruth Wilson.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today I will be doing the pledge in both English and Spanish. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yo prometo lealtad a la bandera de los Estados Unidos de América y a una república que representa una nación bajo Dios, entera con libertad y justicia para todos. You may be seated.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It is my pleasure to serve as your clerk of Superior and State Courts and to welcome you to our 3rd Rockdale County Middle School Oratorical Competition. What makes this so special is that it is a private-public partnership that includes our clerk's office, the public schools, as well as some of our finest corporate citizens who are sponsors of our scholarships that we offer. This couldn't happen without the cooperation and support of the school system, faculty and staff, and of course the parents of the students who had to take the time and energy to prepare them and get them here this morning. So hats off to all of you for making this such a special Saturday morning in Rockdale County. I'd like to bring up Ms. Sydney Tucker, who will introduce the master of the competition. Sydney?
Tucker, and I am a student at Blackfield Elementary. Our MC for today is Rockwell County Public School Middle School Oratorical Competition is Al Wiseman. Al is a professional speaker, trainer, and speech coach. He is the founder of Executive Director of Young Speakers Incorporated, where he teaches public speaking and communication skills to middle and high school students and after-school classes. Al has been a member of the Toastmasters International for over 20 years, where he has practiced and developed his public speaking and communication skills. He has earned the rank of Distinguished Toastmaster, Toastmaster's highest honor. Al has worked with Mrs. Wilson in putting on this competition since it first started. He developed a training workshop to prepare the students for the competition and has since served as a master of competition. Please help me welcome our competition master, Mr. Al Wiseman.
Thank you, Ms. Sydney. Give her a hand. It's special because that's my first time ever being introduced by a 10-year-old. We are here to have a good time. Thanks everybody for coming out to our third annual Rockdale County Middle School Oratorical Competition. I am a big believer in public speaking. I'm a big believer in teaching our young people how to speak and communicate. I may be biased, but I think it's one of the most important skills that we can learn in our lifetime. So thanks and hats off to Ms. Wilson, Rockdale County Public Schools, all of our sponsors for putting this contest together. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, friends, you are about to see an amazing contest. As our superintendent said, we hear a lot of negative things about our kids, but when I come to these youth oratorical contests, you really get to see our kids shine. And we don't hear from our kids a lot, so this is an opportunity to hear from them and to really see what's on their mind and understand what's in their hearts. So I'm proud to be a part of this program, and we are going to get started with this fantastic contest. A couple of house rules. We would like you, if you have any type of a cell phone or a ringing device, we would like you to please put it on pause or stun. We don't want anything going off in the middle of our contest to distract our speakers. Also, we know some parents are out there, so please be cognizant of taking flash photography when our students are on stage speaking. Sometimes that can be a little bit distracting. These lights are already bright enough and it can throw them off. Also, what we're going to do is we're actually going to have, if we have a program, we're actually going to have 3 speakers today. And Mr. Garrett at AV, if you could tone the mic down just a little bit, it sounds a little bit loud. We get a little bit of feedback on there. We're actually going to have 3 contests today. We're going to do our 6th grade first, and our 7th grade, then 8th grade. Our speakers have drawn for speaking position in random order. So what you're going to hear me say is you're going to hear me announce the speakers just by their number, not by their name or not by their school. This is done intentionally. We follow the Toastmasters International Speech Contest rules, and this is done intentionally so that there's no bias from judges or what have you, and so it eliminates students' names or schools, so it takes a little bit of bias out there. Our students have gone through public speaking training. They've been briefed on the rules. They understand what the judges are going to be evaluating them on. The judges have a set of criteria that they're going to be evaluating our speakers on, including content, including delivery, and language. And then there's different subcategories under those areas, just to let you know. What we're going to do is we're going to have all of our speakers come up. I'm going to announce them in order in a couple of minutes. We're going to give the judges about 1.5 to 2 minutes to mark their ballots in between each speaker. And during that time, we're going to ask for silence, so we give the judges a couple of minutes to kind of concentrate and tabulate their ballots. At the end of each contest, we're going to collect the ballots for those contests from the judges. Then we're going to proceed to the next contest, the 7th grade contest. Again, we'll ask for 1 minute, 2 minutes of silence between each speaker, give the judges time to mark their ballots. And then at the end of the 8th grade competition, the ballot counters, who are volunteers from Toastmasters, serving with me here today, they're going to take the ballots, they're going to collect them, and then we'll come back and we'll announce the winners at the very end of the program. Okay? Everybody on board. Fantastic. Who's ready for a contest? All right. Fantastic. I'm going to start with our 6th grade contest. Our 6th grade contest. Please help me welcome 6th grade speaker number 1. Speaker number 1. 6th grade. Give him a big hand. Keep your flowers going so he gets up there. Keep it going. There we go.
Imagine that you are now an adult. You just got out of college, you got your own car, and you have your own house. And one day, while checking your mailbox, you found out that there is a letter from the government. And guess what? It is a summons for a jury duty. You then go to the assigned courthouse and then get chosen to be in the jury. You then sit down in your seat and start to wonder, why am I here? Is this really important? Is this essential to our country's democracy? Good morning. Today, I'll be telling you as many reasons as I can on why I think jury trials is vital to our system of democracy. Jury trials have existed since the times of ancient Greece. That's about 500 BC or 2,500 years ago. So you may already know by hearing that fact that this has lasted the test of time. Knowing that this thing had to be important. And I'll be giving you a list of reasons that will reinforce that statement. Starting off, my first reason is that first, jury trials is vital to our system of checks and balances. It's vital since the system requires a strong judicial system, and a jury trials does the job, since we have a say in the government. My second reason is that jury trials can prevent tyranny, since the jury has the absolute power to make the final decision of the trial instead of the judge. My third reason is that it makes our democracy unique. Unique in the sense that not many countries, like my home country, Philippines, have jury trials. Instead, we have a bench trial or trial by a judge. In a bench trial, the judge is the only person who hears the facts of your case and judges your fate. This is often the case for many countries, which shows that the USA is a very unique and blessed country. My fourth reason is that it helps citizens to take part with the U.S. process of governing. It is said that jury trials are actually the most effective way for citizens to take part with the law or the Constitution, even better than voting. With this participation, citizens are able to help stabilize our democracy and help our law system to live long. My fifth reason is that it helps citizens to get educated about the judicial system. People have a better understanding of the judicial system after their jury duty is done, and will have more respect of it after the jury duty is done. It also corrects some of the U.S. citizens' wrong beliefs of what happens inside the court and the courtroom. My sixth reason is that a peaceful resolution is actually available. The people in the court can share life experiences that's relevant to the case, can later help suggest and conclude to a peaceful end. Remember what I said earlier? The jury has the absolute power to make the final decision of the trial instead of the judge. So there is no difficulty whatsoever to make a peaceful end of the trial. So, I about gave you all my reasons and proof why I think jury trials is vital to our system of democracy. This type of trial is unique, it educates, it prevents, it provides, and it stabilizes the democracy and the implementation of the Constitution and the rule of law. I hope you learned something in my speech today, and I hope you have a good day.
Job. Madam Timer, may we please have a 2 minutes to give our judges time to mark their ballots. Any of our judges need more time? Okay.
Yes, just.
I forgot to mention, each grade has its own speech topic, and the topic for our 6th graders is the right to trial by jury. Please help me welcome 6th grade speaker number 2. Speaker number 2. 6th grade.
Hello. The topic I will be arguing for is the right to trial by jury. I agree that if I or some other American committed a crime, they should be sentenced by a 12-person jury. But that should differ if there's a repeated offense by that person. There are many reasons why we choose to have a jury. Foremost, when your fate is being determined by the jury, you have multiple opinions coming from different people, so the vote may or may not come in your favor. Now, the way the judge votes is different. You have one chance with the judge and one chance only. Meanwhile, with the jury, you have multiple chances. Moreover, the people that are choosing for jury duty are most likely from your community, and most are doing this for the first time and will do what they feel is right. Unlike a judge who's heard maybe 1,000 cases, and they may just merge your case along with all of the other cases. Now, you don't want that happening, do you? Additionally, an emotional jury can actually be good for one who's been severely wronged in a civil case. Most of the time when you're falsely accused of a crime, you show emotion. Key word, most of the time. Jurors take notice of this. Unlike a judge, who is based on facts, a jury takes both of these key factors in mind. I remember one time when I was a bit younger, my aunt was telling me about how she was called in for jury duty. On trial was a young man who emotionally-wise looked innocent, but fact-wise looked guilty. The jury voted him innocent. And 3 days later, they found the true perpetrator. What would have happened to that man if he didn't have the privilege of a jury? Jail time, possibly even death. Not to mention, it creates formidable check against state power. Just the thought of giving the state total power over deciding legal matters fills most people with dread. The same individuals who make the argument that jurors, consisting of the citizens, keeps a certain measure of power in the hands of the people. In the same fashion, you can become educated on the basics of the government. By taking part in the jury process, an individual will have a significant opportunity to understand how the government functions on the basic level. So you're not getting a full-blown educational lecture, but you're getting a sense of what it's like. Finally, it protects jurors. It is against the law to attempt to influence a juror's decision in any kind of way. Threatening, intimidation, and any other forms of negative content creates additional charges. So if you are on the jury panel, you will be protected. I appreciate everyone for listening to me this morning, but I'm not done yet. I leave you with the question. If you are on the jury panel, would you be based on facts or emotion? I know I'll be based on facts. Thank you.
Good job. At time, may we please have 2 minutes on the clock to give our judges time to mark their ballot. Our 2 minutes are out. Do our judges need any more time? All right, please help me welcome speaker number 3, 6th grade speaker number 3.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm here to talk to you about the right to be tried by a jury. Do I agree or disagree? Imagine this. Your brother is at home. Your doorbell rings. 2 police officers is at your door telling him he's under arrest for rape. Your brother goes to trial by jury and is convicted and spends 26 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. By the way, this is a true story that happened to a family friend in Texas. during the trial, 1, they had tainted jury, 2, they had sloppy police work, and 3, they had prosecuted them doing anything to win all these cases. Can you believe that? It took a group called the Innocent Project to get justice. And he was paid millions of dollars. But in the end, ask yourself, was it worth it? This is why I don't agree with trial by jury. I think we should have a judge and 2 appointed court workers to decide our fate like they do in Africa. In Africa, they thought the trial would be prejudiced against the people. In conclusion, whether we have a trial by jury or let a judge decide, we need better police work, an honest jury, and a prosecutor that cares about people. I'm leaving you with this question. Do you want your brother to be tried by a jury? Thank you.
Didn't change my number, I was speaking with 3. All right, can we have a couple of minutes, Madam Timer, give the judges time to mark their ballots and tabulate their decision for our 6th grade speakers. Judges, once you've completed your ballots, could you please tear off the bottom of the ballot form? And we have our volunteer Toastmaster ballot counters who are going to collect those. All right. Okay, let's give a hand for all of our 6th grade speakers. 6th grade, thank you all. Fantastic job. You guys are fantastic, fantastic. All right, we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to move right into our 7th grade speakers. And our 7th graders are speaking to us today on the topic of the role of the U.S. in the world. The role of the U.S. in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, guests, please put your hands together and help me welcome 7th grade speaker number 1.
Good morning. For generations, the United States of America has been regarded as leaders of political and economic prosperity, giving the impression that we American citizens are the policemen of the world. However, if you really stop and think about it, should we be? Yes, America is a very powerful country. Yes, America is a very powerful country, dominating the world superpower for many centuries. But, however, that doesn't necessarily mean that this trend will continue. For example, America is suffering from the overextension of its resources and capital by jumping in to be the knight in shining armor who jumps in to save the day. This is not a good thing. Why? Developing countries often depend on stronger surrounding countries to help them in time of need. America is most likely that country due to our economic success and righteous demeanor. As stated previously, however, the United States is suffering from the overextension of its resources. This can lead to even stronger countries that we are not on good terms with to overthrow smaller, weaker countries, and one country at a time, the whole world. Isn't the whole point of a policeman to help you and to keep you safe? Well, one might say that if America is not the world's law enforcement, then another country with sick thoughts and corrupt motives will be. True, however, that is not always the case, for America has a very powerful backup plan tucked into our belts. That backup plan is what is known as allies. Yes, allies, defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as a person or group who helps out another person or group. As this definition suggests, allies are here to provide and receive moral support during a time of crisis. If America continues this trend, then those countries, those allies, could definitely step in to be the world's law enforcement. In fact, all 31 of our countries, of our allies, are physically and mentally able to suffice. Now, tell me this. How do you expect us to go out and police somebody else when we can't even police ourselves? We see blood being spilled left and right, the crimson red just seeping into the cracks of the ground, along with the salty tears falling down our faces. We know what it is. We know how scarring it must be to see our own community being broken down, being ripped apart right in front of our own eyes. You see all of these people being killed on our own streets, thousands of our neighbors, their lives just whisk away into the blowing of the wind. You see all of this and more, and yet you still want to run off into another country to help with their problems? Just take one good look at our country. Open your eyes to see the carnage in our own cities. We need to set our priorities straight and first fix those things to make us stronger and actually fit to be the world's policemen. Why do we continue doing this? Why do we continue to throw ourselves into action, puffing out our chests in confidence, but still neglect to see the bigger picture? We are powerful, yes, but we are also blinded by our own pride. It is not our responsibility to protect other countries. Yes, it may sound morally wrong, but just look at the state of our beloved nation. We are in shambles, in tears. We are in pain. We are chained to the unspecified belief that we absolutely, at all costs, have to police other countries. This is not true. Let the countries look the way they want, how they want. their country. They may not believe in what we believe, and as much as that hurts to say, that's okay. To police other countries means we'll be forcing them to live the way we live. How would you feel if a country forces you to do the same? To me, this sort of reminds me of a dictatorship, where one person, or in this case, one country, forces another to do what they feel is right. Now, I leave you with this question. Do you believe that America should be the world's law enforcement? Thank you.
Madam Timer, please have 2 minutes for the judges to mark their ballots. Judges need any more time? Please help me welcome 7th grade, speaker number 2. Speaker number 2, 7th grade. Thank you for keeping going.
The other day, I was reading an article, and the text was stating, and it was a quote by David Levithan, "What separates us from the chaos? What separates us from the animals is our ability to mourn people we've never met." 5 years ago, when I was 7, my uncle passed away. Now, at a young age, us children can understand the loss of death, but may not be able to react to it emotionally, therefore causing us, years later in our lives, to have to deal with this stress and emotions. Terrorism, the wars, the violence, the insanity is not only messing with few lives and families, but it's hurting our nation and others. How many lives have to be hurt? How many have to be abused before the sun rises again? The violence can stop. Actions speak louder than a million words. How could we forget that the U.S. has been a victim of the many terrorist attacks where people have lost lives? The U.S. is a strong nation. We are one full of pride, yet we become vulnerable to the terror that lurks around us. In an article, Lieutenant Colonel Kenneth Craig states, 15 years prior to 9/11, the U.S. failed to respond with strength while violent terrorist actions escalated. In the eyes of U.S. enemies, America's decency and honor Our rules of engagement, even at war, is our weakness. The U.S. must preempt and next until they no longer see. These targets and enemies aren't recognized as target enemies and threats until it is too late. Our enemy desires massive bloodshed of innocent, unarmed civilians across the Western world. What should be the U.S. United States role in international affairs? Don't let our enemy threaten our nation. The United States shouldn't allow its nation to be worried or threatened by any form of blow. As a nation, we must show our enemies our strength. You never know how strong you are until being strong is the only option you have, once stated by Bob Marley. The U.S. must pursue a comprehensive strategy to counter threats in all of its dimensions. The United States cannot show fear towards any types of threats. They must show that no matter what you have, you cannot ruin this proud and tough nation. We know this, but we have to show this. Don't let them get authority of these weapons of mass destruction even before and after they have these items. Show them that we, the United States, will not stand down and will not stop with all we have. We have the technology, we have the weapons, and we have the intelligence. Strengthen the U.S. alliances to defeat global terrorism and work to prevent attacks against the U.S. and our allies. If the United States communicates with other countries, it will boost the aid of help in battle cry, such as if Japan was battling or in war with another country, they will receive help from the U.S. If countries work together and create peace within each other, it will eliminate the terrorism because there will be no violence and tranquility. Stopping countries from arguing over their countries and other items. In conclusion, what separates us from the animals, what separates us from the chaos, is our ability to mourn people we've never met. Terrorism is a very huge topic that affects life. Terrorism can be stopped with the move of one action. It can be stopped with the move of one person. Don't let our enemies threaten us, our allies, and our friends with weapons of mass destruction. Transform America's national security institutions to meet the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. Strengthen the U.S. alliances to defeat global terrorism and work to prevent attacks against the U.S. and our allies. Peace and violence, it all starts with us.
At the timer, 2 minutes for our judges, please. Time is up. Will the judges need any more time? Thank you. Please help me welcome 7th grade, speaker number 3. Speaker number 3, 7th grade.
War, death, terror, international affairs. What are are international affairs. International affairs, also known as foreign affairs, are matters having to do with country relations. Being involved with international affairs can be a good thing, but it can also be a great struggle. I feel that the United States should not get involved with international affairs. When a country gets involved with international affairs, there can be some benefits, but there can also be consequences. Some consequences are war, fatality, and terror. As I've said previously, foreign affairs are based upon relationships. These relationships have to be mutual. Having a mutual relationship simply means that both countries receive benefits from supporting each other. For example, the U.S. has a relationship with Israel. If Israel ever got into a war, they would expect to receive military support as well as financial support from the U.S. Likewise, the U.S. has gone to war and needed leverage or an advantage. We would expect Israel to give us any information that they have obtained. When two countries are in a relationship, they should expect enemies. If that is what to be expected, I passionately feel that the United States should not get involved in international affairs. With war comes fatality. In other words, death. World War I, the Vietnam War, and World War II are perfect examples of when this happened. Thousands upon thousands of U.S. soldiers have lost their lives due to these wars. Now, should we as a country risk letting our soldiers perish over something we had nothing to do with? I think not. Anyone who is against my opinion will say that the United States should get involved with international affairs because it will help benefit our country. They are partially correct. International affairs can help any country economically by providing jobs. They'll also say that we should do this for the global good, but they most likely pay no heed to the third consequence: terror. Terror is fear. Terrorist. A terrorist is someone who is usually a part of a group that inflicts terror. Because international affairs can cause change, the risk of terrorism is almost guaranteed. In essence, I believe that the United States should not get involved with international affairs. As a country who is united, we should take good care of our people and let them live peacefully as Americans. As Madeleine Albright has said, a lot of people think that international affairs is like playing a game of chess, where we sit and think about our strategy, taking their time between moves. But it's more like a game of billiards, where a bunch of balls are clustered together.
Madam Timer, may we please have a couple minutes for our judges to mark their ballots. time is up. Let judges need any more time. Please help me welcome speaker number 4, 7th grade speaker number 4.
November 13, 2015, 3 suicide bombers attacked St. Denis, Paris, France. The world was in shock. Hostages were taken at the Bataclan Theater. 130 were killed, 368 were injured. March 20th, 2016, another 3 suicide bombings occurred. This time, 2 at the Malby metro station, 1 at the Brussels airport. 23 were killed, more than 300 were injured. We mourned, we cried, yet life went on. July 14, 2016, a truck ran through crowds on Bastille Day, a day meant to celebrate French independence. We have no statistics for how many lives were lost. Yet again, the world kept turning. We mourned, we cried, it was over. July 26, 2016, 9 men and 10 women were stabbed and killed at a government-funded institution for the disabled. We mourned again, we cried, it was over. Repetitive as it is, this is what happens in our nation. The question still looms over us, however. How should our country handle international cases of terrorism? In order for me to answer this question, however, may I ask you something? Of all 4 cases of terrorism that I listed, have you heard of all of them? No. Well, many of my classmates haven't either. We don't talk about it because we're immune to hearing the same thing over and over again. We hear the statistics like end credits for a video game, something that's not even real. We don't talk about it, and that is what is inefficient to our country. The U.S. doesn't do anything when it doesn't affect us, when it doesn't concern us. We talk about it, we grieve, but it's a different kind of grieving. We grieve because it's the right thing to do, not because they're humans like us. Our country doesn't share it all. Perhaps we don't know their names, but in the same sense, we still know who they are. People. People with families, lives, aspirations, talents, and goals. We shouldn't say that we acknowledge loss and send condolences. We should be sending blankets, medical equipment, donated blood. Quoting Malala Yousafzai, a women's rights activist, she said, "Terrorism will spill over if you don't speak. It betrays the fact that our media focuses more on Apple getting rid of the headphone jack than terrorists getting rid of lives. It doesn't try to direct your attention to the stories overseas so that you can help. It ruins it because you don't know the stories overseas so that you can help until it's too late." The country we live in shouldn't be telling us to hide, telling us to limit air travel or not to go to large events or major cities. When we do that, we begin to live in fear. And when we live, even living, it's hiding, taking precautions, trying to reach this thing that we can't reach because we're not doing it at all. Because when we live in fear, we've let the terrorists win. This is what they strive upon. Because no matter what the death toll, the injury toll, any of those statistics, as long as they inflict fear upon us, they've won. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must transcend throughout our nation, our tribe, our class. We must develop a world perspective. Instead of focusing on what divides us, race, religion, culture, disability, we should focus on what unites us, love, hope, humanity. The day our country changes the way we portray and act upon terrorism will be the day we can make progression towards world peace." Thank you.
and timer. 2 minutes on the clock for our ballot counters, for our judges, please. Thank you. How about a hand for all of our 7th grade speakers? 7th grade speakers. We are going to keep it rolling with the 8th grade. We have 8th graders here. 8th graders' topic is why we need informed voters. Why we need informed voters. Please help me welcome 8th grade speaker number 1.
Our great nation is diverse, diplomatic, and dependent upon to help keep peace throughout the world. The different ideas and beliefs that America embraces can make things difficult sometimes, but that's why I love America. Diversity and adversity helps us strive to become a better place. The different languages, cultures, and beliefs gives us a look into the home of everyday citizens. We are not stuck to believe in one thing, and that's why our government is so powerful. We have millions of people bringing in new ideas that continues to help us progress as citizens. Understanding that we need to embrace our differences and not control our selfish desires to influence us. That's why voting is so important. We need a leader that is open-minded and is able to represent our country as the beautiful place it is. However, if we allow just any person around our country, that could have negative effects on everyone's lives. That's why we need informed and active voters, influencing the public and encouraging people to vote. This is my home. I was born and raised here with the image of freedom constantly flowing through my brain. I was taught very young that I have to accept the things I cannot change and embrace the fact that I am the future. My generation will be the future doctors and presidents, laying down a path that our children and their children will follow one day. That's why we need to be educated correctly. If we buy into the negative influences that the world can have sometimes, that is what we can pass on to the generation after us. We look up to our elders for their guidance, because we stand on the shoulders of great men and women who sacrifice for our benefit. Our democracy allows the public to help influence decisions made in the U.S., such as laws and rules passed throughout the nation. We need to be educated correctly to make the right decisions that will better us economically and as a whole. We need citizens that are not biased due to skin color or assumptions made about the people running for office. We need voting citizens that can see through propaganda and flaws that are presented through media presentation. Just like the presidential campaign going on now. Media attention is influencing Americans to vote for the better man. Informed and active voters are the only way for America to continue to develop. It is already proven that well-educated adults are more likely to vote. Why? Maybe because a well-educated and hard-working adult can understand the complex problems that the world is facing. They may also understand that there needs to be a leader speaking on behalf of the U.S. We also need them to help positively influence individuals that don't exactly understand politics, helping to explain statements and ideas that are not always clearly clarified in media presentation. We need informed and active voters to keep other people informed and connected to voting rights and the voting process. Someone who is civically engaged and politically conscious of the problems presented today is what an informed voter should be. It means to stay aware of current events and public policies that impacts our communities, and to figure out what our elected representatives or potential candidates will do with their acquired power. We need informed and active voters to spark hope, to raise awareness, and to become a catalyst of change. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Timer. 2 minutes on the clock, please, for our judges. See that our time is up. The judges need any more time. Please help me welcome 8th grade speaker number 2. Speaker number 2 is there.
Hello. Today I will be discussing the topic, why do we need informed and active voters at all levels? Civic education is the primary way our citizens can acquire the knowledge necessary to become informed and active voters at all levels. Many experienced American citizens should be increasingly knowledgeable of candidates, thinking that the president has to be confident and responsible voters throughout their lives. However, I think this doesn't. Before I continue, can I share a short story about the time me and my parents were taking shopping? I was very excited about getting my tickets. I expected to go to Foot Locker, but I can tell you now it's a democracy everywhere. My parents said that we were going to go to Shoe Carnival because they had better prices there. Once we got there, I said, could I get Jordans? But no, we got some Nikes. But guess who was the uninformed voter at that time? It was me. I was an uninformed voter at the time because I didn't know how much less the Nikes cost compared to Jordans, also how much more comfortable they were compared to Jordans. Once I gained that knowledge though, I made a better choice of sneakers throughout my life. I became an informed voter over that incident. As quoted by Jennifer L. Hochschild, every democratic theorist or democratic political actor sees an informed electorate as essential to good democratic practice. Citizens need to know who and what they're choosing and why. To me, this means that active and informed voters are very well educated, and I agree with most of the observers by saying active and informed voters on the local, state, and national levels make the state's voting system more democratically solid. But uninformed voters on the local, state, and national levels bring a less educated voter as well. This can lead to a bad outcome in elections. Can you imagine that some voters think their vote doesn't really count? Uninformed voters who don't know about the important topics they're choosing can choose the wrong leaders as well. They can create horrible laws from the Senate. When civic education is added to the knowledge people already have, the voters are better informed and more effective in the voting process. Maybe then better leaders will be chosen and good laws will be put in place. Political-minded, informed, active voters can have elections with better outcomes for our nation and world. In my head, all voters should wait to learn about the candidates or the topics they're choosing because learning about their values and what they believe in is important. And finally, I say active and informed voters on the local, state, and national levels know they play a big role in elections and know how every vote counts. Also, the amazing role they play has a great impact on others, showing that every voter's vote does count. Basically, one vote from one person can decide a whole election, law, or campaign outcome. Thank you for your time.
Madam Timer, please have a minute and a half on the clock, please. Thank you. That time is up. Please help me welcome 8th grade speaker number 3. Speaker number 3.
Imagine this. You wake up to another bright sunny day in the land of the American dream, but you don't vote. Today, you hear the screeching harshness of drills and hammers the next house over. You look out your window to see that your neighbor's adding a new extension onto their home, and it's hot pink. Who could have approved this, you think? but you shrug it off. It doesn't affect you. You turn on your phone to play games, but your friend texts you saying, check the newspaper. You're shocked to hear that the governor has plans to block the Chattahoochee River from Alabama, but again, you don't care. You get bored when you turn on the news, and your jaw drops to the floor as you hear the newly inaugurated president declare, has this ever happened to you? If not, you may be an informed and active voter. Informed voters use sources with as little bias as possible to stay conscious of the candidate's positions. Part of being conscious is being an active voter. Active voters participate in elections on municipal, gubernatorial, congressional, and national levels. They vote for the candidates who they feel have the best positions. America has always been a melting pot of diversity. Everyone has the right to vote. Some may disagree or not realize, but informed and active voting is one of the greatest freedoms and rights that our country has. On the local level, the importance of informed and active voting seems readily apparent, but it's not this skin deep. People will think of a mayor and say, this directly affects me, I'll go out and vote. But only 21% of people vote on this level, according to Hold Rock and Weinstein. Some people may think that small local offices will never affect their lives, but on this level, candidates gain respect and admiration that they would never get on higher levels. Active voters are needed so much on this level. When someone unqualified is discouraged from reaching even a small local office, they won't get to national offices where their bad decisions could have far greater effects. On the state level, people often become detached from the elections, seeing governors or representatives as an overstated job with no action being taken. But on the state level, resources, refuges are pooled, and their positions combine to make America what it truly is. Only 40% of people vote on this level. Informed and active voting is needed so much. Many crazy bills offered up by Congress and ones that are in place today that you disagree with are often the ones you voted on, not researching before placing your opinion on the ballot. On the national level, I hope that you decide to vote, but according to the Pew Research Center, only 53.6% of people vote on this level. Your vote is needed so much. America is a superpower. Our country almost always has a say in the affairs of other countries. Whether you disagree with this or not, it's true. Americans are relied upon to choose a leader that will make good decisions in not just their country, but in the international arena. The only counter-argument to informed and active voting at this level is that politicians never change, or that America is perfect as it is. This is simply not true. In conclusion, what more is there to say? This is an election year. It is your duty, it is your right to vote. As said by one of our former presidents, Franklin Roosevelt, nobody will ever deprive the American people of the right to vote except the American people themselves. And the only way that they will do this is by refusing to vote. Thank you.
Madam Conyers, please have 2 minutes on the clock for our judge. That is our final contestant. So judges, when you are done with your ballots, please tear off the bottom ballot form and hold them up so that our ballot counters can collect those. Once the final ballots are collected, our ballot counters are going to go to the ballot room and tabulate our final votes. Ballot counters, all the ballots in? All right, thank you. Give it up for all of our speakers today. They did a wonderful job. Good job.
And let's please give a warm round of applause and appreciation for our master of the ceremony, Mr. Al Wiseman. I should have said master of the competition. Mr. Wiseman is a Toastmaster par excellence, and he is the one who does training for our young people. They just had that training on October 15th. And I can tell you that the progress that they have made since then is remarkable. I wish you could have seen what they looked like on October 15th and compare that to what you saw this morning. It reflects a lot of work, commitment, focus on the prize, and we appreciate all of you. You did a wonderful job. We're proud of you. To have as part of this program wonderful corporate sponsors, including Evans Tool and Die, Dee Barnes president. I don't think Dee is here. Travis and Rose Collins of Lexicon Technologies, Snapping Shoals. Everybody knows about Snapping Shoals. And the Rotary Club of Conyers and President Dottie Balla is here. I'm going to ask Dottie to come forward and help us present certificates to our participants. All right, as your name is called, students, speakers come forward and have a seat on the stage. J.R. Insular. Sixth grader from Davis Middle School. Next we have Javon Simmons, sixth grader from Memorial Middle School. Then we have Asiana Wingfield, sixth grader from Conyers Middle School. And we have our seventh graders, Gabrielle Daly, second grade. And from Davis Middle School, seventh grade, Morgan Gill. From Evers Middle School, seventh grader Kai Merritt. From Memorial Middle School, seventh grader Jonathan Rankin. From Conyers Middle School, eighth grader Noel Lowe. Memorial Middle School 8th grader Connor Mack. And last but not least, 8th grader from Davis Middle School, Haley Sanders. All of them are winners because they were selected from their school to represent their various grade levels, and so they are all being recognized for their attendance today. It is a certificate of participation and congratulations presented to them in recognition of their participation in the Rockdale County Clerk of Courts Office Oratorical Competition for middle school students in partnership with Rockdale County Public Schools on this, the 5th day of November 2016. You are commended for your time and effort in preparation and delivery of your oration. We appreciate your dedication and commitment to achieving a high level of performance. And it is signed by myself and Superintendent Richard Autry. We are fortunate to have with us a panel of distinguished judges. Is each highly skilled professional in their own areas, sought after. The fact that they would give their time so freely on a Saturday morning without hope of compensation is truly appreciated, and we would like to ask each of them to please stand and wave as your name is called. Dr. Antoinette Alvarado. As you can see on your program, she is a pastor, speaker, instructor, and professional life coach. Then we have returning Judge Nancy Bill, State Court Judge of Rockdale County. Educator and consultant Maria Brown. She has judged 4-H public speaking contest. We also have Jay Jones. Jay? Citizen. He was a debate team member at Georgia Southern. He is a journalist, professional writer, and editor. Also, Vicki Judd, an attorney. She is Assistant General Counsel for the Department of Driver Services. Returning Judge Garland Moore. He is a Rockdale County Magistrate Court Judge and Conyers Municipal Court Judge. Judge Robert Mumford, also a returning judge. Rockdale Superior Court. I see Corey Thompson is here. He is the Marketing Director for Georgia Piedmont Technical College. He is an Emmy Award-winning TV journalist, trained in oration and presentation. He is the spokesperson for Georgia Piedmont Technical College. Maria Von Dickerson. Where is Maria? She is radio personality, voiceover artist, and stage performer. And last but not least, my friend, Dr. Doreen Williams. She is the Rockdale County Commissioner, and I believe she wants to make an announcement. I'm going to ask you to come on up here. She is the Rockdale County Commissioner, she has trained oratorical speakers. She was an educator for 30 years, 17 years as a middle school teacher, and she is leading the strategic planning effort for Rockdale County and wants to announce something about that.
I love any time I have a chance to get back with the middle school students especially. I wanted to make sure that you knew about the town hall meeting this coming Thursday at 5:30 at JP Carr. It's a chance for you to come out and discuss at roundtables with individual directors of the different departments in the county some of the interests that you have, whether it's water resources, law enforcement, fire rescue, finance, Parks and Recreation, and some others. They will be available, and we invite all of you to come. The more people we hear from, the more input we have into our strategic plan. Thank you.
to be sure and give a shout out to all the parents who are here. Parents, please stand. Let us recognize you. We know that as middle school students, they don't drive. So they depend upon you to get them to the training, to have them here on time, to support them in what the training instructed them to do, and it shows. We can see clearly if they had practice, that they took to heart the feedback that they received after the oratorical workshop. The amount of improvement is very, very obvious. So thank you for your commitment and your cooperation, your support. I want to encourage those of you who have 6th and 7th graders to have them compete again. One of our contestants, I'm not going to pick him out right now, is a returning contestant. He competed in the 7th grade and won a prize. So he's back as an 8th grader to compete again. Your student can do that as well. And if you would, help us to get the word out to the rest of the middle school students. We'd like to make this as inclusive as possible. We love to have this auditorium filled with parents watching their students compete. And so if you would help us get the word out, we would greatly appreciate that. We're waiting for the judges to complete their tabulation, so be patient with us for a few more minutes, and as soon as they are ready, we'll announce our winners. Can we play some jazz? It shouldn't be too long.
I would like to just quickly recognize all of my Toastmasters volunteers. We have Toastmasters clubs, 2 clubs in Rockdale County, and they came out and helped us and supported us this morning, again, Saturday morning, without any due compensation. Ben Marsh is our chief judge, and he acted in the position of briefing our judges. John Llewellyn was our sergeant at arms. Dr. Sadia Muhammad, thank you very much. Dr. Sadia Muhammad and Janine Giles were our ballot counters, and Sheila Tiller-Tooks up in the AV booth was our timer. So thank you for welcoming our Toastmasters.
I would also like to recognize some of the other key players that put this together for us. Of course, we have the support of Superintendent Richard Autry, and we have with us somewhere here Shirley Chesser. Where's Ms. Chesser? She is the Chief Academic Officer for Rockdale County Public Schools. What we have done, as we have planned this over the years, is to ensure that our topics are on target for the grade level, that we're having to participate in the contest, and also to make sure that it flows into the curriculum. So this is a meaningful academic enrichment for our students. Also want to recognize the key role of Dr. Erica Tucker, who is the ELA and Literacy K-12 coordinator. She has been with us on this mission since the beginning, and I appreciate you so very much. She is my key interface with the school system. And of course, Ms. Barber, who has opened up Conyers Middle School so graciously. They came here early on a Saturday morning to make us welcome. And I want to be sure to recognize Ms. Sonia Vernon, who is at the back. Just essential to keeping this thing moving. Could not go any further without recognizing my staff who are here to support Chief Deputy Clerk Mary Burgess. And Silverport Manager Katie Raines is right here. And my ace #1 fan and all-around handyman, my boo, my husband, Will Johnson. As we are tap dancing and filling the space here, I'm going to ask Mr. Wiseman to come give a little history of how we came to have this oratorical competition.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. We actually met at a concert jazz concert in Rockdale County. Derwin Daniels, if you know Derwin. Derwin is a saxophone player, renowned musician in his own right, has several CDs out. My wife and I was there, Miss Wilson and her husband, her boo was there, and we were introduced to Miss Wilson through Derwin, a mutual friend of ours, and we got to talking, and I told her that I had a program called Young Speakers, where I like to work with young people and train them in public speaking communication skills. She said, that's very interesting. I've always wanted to do an oratorical contest for Rockdale County. And I said, hey, let's get together, let's make it happen. And this was her brainchild. She had been thinking of this for a while. It was her dream. And I'm just honored to help put together and make her a dream come true and make this contest come to fruition. Well, this is actually our third time. This is our third time doing it. And it's just fantastic. All of the middle schools in Rockdale County are invited to participate. So the 40 middle schools in Rockdale County, they're all invited to participate. The process is the teachers of the various ELA classes, they go through a detailed selection process. They select the children, they're vetted out, and as Ms. Wilson said, they come to an oratorical training class where we take them through the drill. And, you know, again, they showed up and they showed out. I think what we've seen here today is indicative of the talent that our kids have. We've heard from some future leaders, we've heard from future Congress people, future mayors, future councilmen, future governors, and future presidents of the United States here. So it's always interesting to hear. Yes, thank you very much. This is very exciting to hear their views, particularly in an election year. A lot of times we don't have an opportunity to really hear our kids. And I'm always amazed when I work in my after-school program and work with the children, and they come up and they tell their stories. They tell their stories about their family, what's happening to them in schools, and it's just amazing to give them an opportunity to speak out and be heard. Like I said, public speaking is one of the most important things they can do. It takes a lot of courage to stand up here on this stage and speak before an auditorium of people. I see some parents shaking their head. It's often been said that public speaking is one of the #1 fears. They took a survey some years ago and it was ranked even above dying. So that means if you were at a funeral, you would rather be in a casket than give a funeral. But it's very nerve-wracking. I've been doing this over 20 years, and I still get nervous when I come up here. So it's very challenging, and again, all of these students showed up, and they did an excellent job. And thank you very much. So we're going to continue this contest. We're going to keep it going. Thanks to Ms. Wilson. Thanks to all of our sponsors. And join us next year for the fourth annual contest.
Speaking of sponsors, as I mentioned, Rotary, the Rotary Club of Conyers is one of the sponsors of this competition. I'm happy to say that I serve as chair of youth services for our club. That's what this pin means up here. Dottie is president of the Rotary Club of Conyers, and two of us worked together last year to apply for a district grant to help fund the oratorical competition. So we got that money from the district, we plowed that back into our community. From that point, our club made the commitment to supplement our corporate sponsors with funding to take care of the operating expenses associated with that. On that basis, I'd like to have Dottie come forward and talk a little bit about what we do in Rotary around the world.
Thank you. I'd really like to congratulate these young people. They did a wonderful job, and one of the worst things in the world is having to come before an audience of people unprepared. Which I just got told about 2 minutes ago that I was going to say something about Rotary. And I want to say we have one very distinguished Rotarian in the audience, and that's Judge Gary Moore, who is a member of the Rotary for Rockdale who has been a district leader, and he's always out and about with rhetoric. I want to say that The Rotary Club of Conyers is deeply enrooted in this community. It has been in existence for 49 years. Next year we will celebrate our 50th year. So, and Rotary's motto is service above self. So basically we try very hard to look into the community, see what the needs are, and fund whatever we can afford to fund to help some of our local 501(c)(3) charities that don't really get any money from anywhere else. So anyway, I want to congratulate these young folks. As far as I'm concerned, you are all winners, no matter how this competition comes out, because you have made yourself come in front of an audience and speak. And believe me, every time you do it, each and every time you do it, you will get better, and it does get easier eventually. So thank you.
Well, part of being a leader is being prepared all the time, all right? So, I wanted to have Gary come up and show off his Rotary socks. He has Rotary ties, Rotary pants, and he will probably have something to say about Rotary as he makes his way up here. But he is one of our returning judges. He's someone who gives of himself consistently in the community. I want to also acknowledge that State Court Judge Nancy Bills is also a member of Rotary in the Morning Club. We do a lot in the community. Please welcome Judge Gary Moore.
Thank you. I got to be honest, if as a parent myself, I would be honored to have and adopt any one of the contestants today. They have really been amazing speakers, and they have stimulated thought on many different topics. So I just want to say, for me, it's been a pleasure to come and listen to all of you. You all really did an amazing job. And yeah, give them another round of applause. And in Rotary, we really try to get involved in our communities locally and globally. And our motto is service above self. And it's a pleasure because we get to interact with people who we may never otherwise interact with in our normal day-to-day lives. And it's because of my involvement in Rotary that I find myself here. And I'm so grateful for that because it has enriched my life. And so for those of you who have a desire to do other things beyond what you're doing now, we look for busy people in Rotary. We look for busy people such as you for Interact clubs when you're about ready to get into high school, and to Rotaract clubs in college. And we would love to see our organization grow with fine people such as yourself who are involved with their families and their community and want to improve the world at large. And again, Ruth Wilson, please know that I'm grateful for being.
So I thought one of the two of them, since they're officers, would mention that Rotary is celebrating its 100th year with its international convention coming to Atlanta June next year. There will be people here from all over the world. I don't know how many thousands of people, but it will be huge. So look for more information about that. There may be opportunities for you to volunteer. Judge Gary mentioned Interact. That's one of my favorite topics. That is the high school and middle school version of Rotary. We sponsor, my club sponsors the Interact clubs at Conyers Middle School, Rockdale County High School, and Heritage High School. So parents, if you're interested in your children having some additional exposure, opportunities for leadership and advancement, please look into the Interact Club. The advisor here at Conyers Middle School is Ms. Shelton. She's a lovely lady. We just had probably 14 Conyers Middle School interactors to visit with us at our Rotary Club meeting on Thursday. We had lunch. Each one was able to sit with an individual Rotarian based on location. It was a wonderful experience. We give scholarships, lots of good things. So please look into Interact. I have run out of stuff. So Mr. Ben Marsh. Oh, we got? Oh, we're done. Okay. Okay. All right. We're ready to do this. Drum roll. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to hand out ribbons for first, second, and third place for 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. I'm going to ask Dottie and Mr. Wiseman to help the winners with their medallions. And at the end, we'll present big checks, big fake checks, to the winners. The actual money, live checks, will be given to Ms. Tucker for delivery to the individual winners. So no live checks this morning, but we'll get some nice pictures. We're going to start with the 6th grade, 3rd place, Javon Sivan. Congratulations, Javon. 6th grade, 2nd place, Asiana Wingfield. And the 1st place winner from Davis Middle School, 6th grader, J.R. Insular. Fabulous job. All right, 7th grade. 3rd place winner, Kai Merritt. Congratulations. And 7th grade, 2nd place, Gabrielle Daly. Seventh grade, 1st place winner, Morgan Gill. Outstanding. 8th grade, 3rd place, Noel Lowe from Conyers Middle School. Second place winner, from Memorial Middle School, Connor Mack. And our 1st place winner for 8th grade, Haley Sanders. Congratulations to all of our winners. Now we're going to have them pose with their checks. All the 3rd place winners come forward.
Third place.
Yeah. I think it's 3. And our 2nd place winner. Give him a hand. We are so proud of all of our participants, our winners. Take that money and deposit it in an account where you can save for your college. Parents, there is something called a 529 account. Ours in Georgia is one of the best in the nation. It's an excellent college savings program. The returns are great. There are tax advantages. For more about it, look it up on clarkhoward.com. He recommends it, and so do I. Now, if they want to go shopping, that's up to you, parents. You can control that, but I strongly encourage you to start that college savings plan. Thank you so much for being here today. Help yourself to the refreshments on your way out. Make it a great day.
Oh, yeah, it was. See you next time.